rituals that come with drinking, the people, the round buying, right? That didn't help me grow emotionally. In fact, what it does, and I've seen this all my life, it helps people hide, right? I wasn't sharing my fears in the pub, I was drowning them. I wasn't charting my path, I was numbing it. The pub is not a place of growth. It is nothing but a padded cell for your parts that are too scared to be seen.
Boom, ba boom, boom, boom. You didn't consciously choose your first drinking crew. They were just simply there. Lads from work, mums from the school run, familiar faces at your local. You didn't choose them, but they ended up choosing what you valued, how you coped, and who you have become. And unless something changes, they might still be choosing your future. Hello, everybody. My name is Lee Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I live a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck, and I spend every single waking moment of that life helping other people do the same. Like right now, on a very miserable, grimy Monday morning out here. I don't know when you'll be listening to this. Probably listen to this on Tuesday, but it's very grimy. I do have a frog in my throat. Let's have a cup of tea, see if I can lubricate that away. There you go. Today, well, first of all, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had a great weekend, alcohol-free as fuck. And for those of you that didn't have a great weekend, alcohol-free as fuck, but you really tried, well done. Well done. Got your back, okay? Today, we are going to continue our weekly series where I pluck a quote from a book that I'm reading and reflect on how it connects to living a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck. And so far, I'm going to continue with Seth Godin's This Is Strategy. So don't go out there and buy the book if you think it's a quick lit book. It's not. It's a book about the strategy of life, but it's still a great book. I love it. So go buy it if you just want to know more about life, which is what this podcast is all about, right? Anyway, the quote from Mr. Godin. He says, find 3 or 4 other people and start a group, in person or on Zoom. Meet once a week and make assertions highlighting your fears and sharing your path. Once again, find 3 or 4 people, start a group, in person or on Zoom, meet once a week, make assertions highlighting your fears and sharing your path. Sounds empowering, right? But let's rewind a little bit and let's take the same sentence, give it a little nudge, change a few words. What about this? Find 3 or 4 other people and start a drinking group and meet daily in the pub. Now, we're not talking about courage. We're not talking about connection. We're talking about collusion and avoidance. And that is a liquid lie because it doesn't just sell you alcohol. It sells you a false sense of belonging, a place to be without ever needing to be real. I have always thought of myself as a really deep, open person. But reflecting on where that came from and how that developed and how I became the person I am today, I cannot explain it to you any better than saying that I had to develop a certain level of emotional intelligence and emotional literacy in order for me to be safe enough to reveal myself to the world. Because that's what it's all about for me, right? Really being able to have deep, meaningful conversations means you have to trust people to have those conversations. And to trust those people first, you have to trust yourself. And that comes with emotional intelligence, emotional literacy. And the pub, the rituals that come with drinking, the people, the round buying, right? That didn't help me grow emotionally. In fact, what it does, and I've seen this all my life, it helps people hide, right? I wasn't sharing my fears in the pub, I was drowning them. I wasn't charting my path, I was numbing it. The pub is not a place of growth. It is nothing but a padded cell for your parts that are too scared to be seen. I'll give you an example. So this weekend, I was in the pub and I was with someone who was clearly distraught and really needed to open up. There was something painful bubbling under the surface. They had chosen me in that moment to be someone they trusted, to be there for them. But we were in the pub and they were drinking and they were drunk and they couldn't get a grip on it, right? They couldn't slow things down enough to be held. And no matter what I did, even if I got all my magic wand out on my master life coach superpowers, I can't get a grip on it either if the person who I'm communicating with is an absolute mess, right? Like they just cannot get their shit together. There's a massive difference between releasing emotion when you're not drinking and losing control when you're drunk. When you are not drinking and you want to release emotion with somebody that you can trust, that other person has the opportunity to hold you, right? Because there's an arc to the release of emotion. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? It's like classic story archetype. Someone is going to get really sad and they're going to go like this, right? And you'll be able to hold them in that space if you're capable, if you have the emotional intelligence to be able to do that. But when you're drunk, there's no container, there's no holding space. It's just a mess, absolute mess, because you're not compos mentis. The drug is taken away the access to your executive functions. So you're not even able to be a blubbering mess and then recover from the end of it. You just are a blubbering mess until the person just gets fed up of you or you eventually fall asleep, right? Now compare this to the two of you having a cup of tea on a couch, making eye contact and staying present while you fall apart. The two situations are very, very different. And I want you to just think about that and take a moment while we go into the break, right? On top of that, I want you to think, who are the people you're spending all your time with? Are they helping you grow or are they helping you stay stuck? Welcome back to the 1000 Day Sober podcast. We have been talking about Seth Godin's quote about finding 3 or 4 people, meeting them once a week in person or on Zoom and talking about your deepest fears, right? And that has led us into the liquid lie. And when you see the liquid lie for what it is, which is a huge moment, and hopefully this podcast is helping you do that, this is a moment that you get to wake up. And when you wake up, you realize that being self-led doesn't mean being Han Solo, right? It means choosing, consciously choosing who sits at your table. Do you know when you get married or you go to a wedding, there's the top table, right? Like you're choosing who is at the top table. I want you to start doing that. Now you're self-led, like your entire life. Who do I want to sit with me at this top table? Really important. Becoming alcohol-free as fuck. It doesn't mean losing connection. It means you're upgrading that connection. Now, this is really important because most of my clients, when they think about becoming alcohol-free as fuck, they think of all the bad things. They think of lack, scarcity. They think that they are giving something up when they're not. They're gaining something. Really important. From shallow small talk to soulful, rich conversation, from validation to elevation. And I know it's really scary. I get it, right? For most people, losing friends is really tied up with the fear of losing themselves. But you're not losing your people, right? You're just losing that padded cell. You're losing that prison. And in its place, you find relationships that build you, that challenge you, that reflect back to you yourself. Now let's go back to that quote. Find 3 or 4 people, meet weekly, highlight your fears, share your path. This is what becoming alcohol-free as fuck and living a self-led life makes possible. And this is what we do every day inside Strive. This is what is at the beating heart of strivers, right? Is sharing your path. Because the hardest part isn't quitting drinking. It's actually leaving behind friendships that no longer fit and creating things that finally do. That's the real work, and that's the real gift. Today's daily vow. Today, I will not drink. I will choose connection that fuels my growth over belonging that feeds my fear. You are not the same person who walked into that pub many, many years ago. So please stop pretending you are and stop letting old friendships dictate a future that they were never built or prepared to hold. A few questions to reflect on today. Who are the 5 people you are spending the most time with? Just get a bit of paper out, write them down. Who are the 5 people you're spending the most time with? Are those people helping you expand or are they keeping you confined? What would change if you sought out people who celebrated your growth instead of your distractions? What if you at another list and you wrote down 5 people you know are somewhere within the vicinity of your sphere of influence, but they're not really in your inner circle, what would happen if you dragged them into your inner circle? How would your life change? Let's go for that, yeah? Okay, that's all I got time for you, folks. I'm going back to my drinking, going to do a little bit more recording. If this episode hit home, help others find it. Rate, review the show, right? Subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're ready to do this deeper work, if you're ready to upgrade your emotional intelligence and your emotional literacy so you can hold people and you can express your deeper desires to other people, go to the www.thestrivemethod.com and join the waiting list for the Strive Method, right? We're rolling out the stuck phase at the moment. You don't have to stop drinking when you're doing it. We're just there to support you and raise your self-awareness around alcohol reliance and the liquid lie. It's really, really amazing. You'll also find our free ebook over there, The Liquid Lie Unveiled, How to Live a Life Alcohol-Free as Fuck. Until tomorrow, much love and strive on. But remember, you've got this. You do not have to drink today. There will be a 2 to 3 hour window where you really struggle. Just know that you can serve those urges. You can get through it. Until tomorrow. All right. Much love, everybody. Take care. I'll see you again tomorrow.